Okay, hang on, we need to get things to work. There's no music yet, my bad. Ah. Oh my goodness. Always such a mess, isn't it? But hey, I'm here. Whee! Please tell me I'm on the right account, by the way. Oh god. Hang on. It's taking so long just to check. Okay, yes, I am live on the correct thing. Oh, but I did not change the title or anything like that. Hi, Bearded. No, not another Q&A. I wasn't sure if I was on the correct account because I've been like switching a bunch of stuff around and oh god. Okay, we're gonna do something now. Nope, that's the wrong tab. We're gonna it has emotional in the title. I'm not gonna play that music. Here, that one maybe. Okay, we're gonna try this one and hope for the best. Hang on. When will things ever not be chaotic with me? Okay, oh shit. Okay. I hope that wasn't too loud, because I still had my volume up. Oh, but for you it's not loud anyway, because I have stuff muted. Can you hear it now is the question. And how loud is it? Anyway, we're gonna switch to this screen and hopefully that will all be fine and okay. And then I can, sorry for the notification sound. Hi Nukes, welcome. Stream is not going to be terribly long. I guess I'm just going to do like kind of like a little life update, I almost want to call it, more or less. Just, yeah, you know, like what's been going on and what's on people's mind. Unfortunately, what still does not work, I'm turning this down a little bit, maybe up for you guys, I guess. Maybe. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Right. The chat does not work here. I don't even have it in here. Well, I guess maybe because I tried it and it didn't work. It has to do with probably the fact that both my main account, like YouTube account, and the streaming one are like connected to the same Gmail account. From what I've read, that is kind of the issue. So I'll have to like switch it to a different one, and yeah, I haven't gotten around to that. Oh, it's louder than me. Well, we can't have that now. Is that better now? I hope so. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good and having a pleasant day. And if not that's gonna get better. Boy oh boy, I've been tired. I've been crazy tired. I mean, partially because of medication, I think, that I've been taking. it's kind of strange because it's quite an interesting medication to be taking, and I don't have the diagnosis that you would usually need to get that medication. So it's very experimental. Like imagine, I don't want to get too specific. I don't know if that like could be anything bad or something. But basically, imagine that this medication treats. I don't know. I can't think of anything now. Because like some things make sense. Like, you know, if you have like a heart medication that gets used for other stuff as well, that makes sense. I guess I can be kind of specific. Basically, you get it for when you have like some eye pressure thing. I can't even explain it very well because, well, I don't have the diagnosis. I've not talked about this with a doctor much. I specifically got the tests done because my doctor, who's been taking care of like health, like my pain stuff, my chronic issues and whatnot, said, "Hey, let's check this out." And then we had the tests done, and they were like basically negative, in a sense. And then the next time we met, he's like, "Well, I'm kind of starting to be out of ideas, but hey, how about we try this one medication?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, what is it? What does it do?" And he's just like, "It's what you would have gotten if the last tests had been positive," which they weren't. And I'm like, "Okay." But it's kind of like a last resort kind of thing, and I'm open to try stuff as long as it doesn't put me at risk much, which, as long as my blood's getting monitored, it shouldn't. And I mean, it depends on the side effects you can have, which, I mean, it's much tiredness. It actually tells you like, hey, if you have some like brain fog, some tiredness, some like issues with your eyes, because like your eyesight, then you shouldn't be driving. You shouldn't be like, you know, operating machinery in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm much more careful to not drive if I'm feeling like any tired at all. But that's been working out okay, thankfully. But yeah, it does some strange things. Not that important, but yeah, that's just kind of like part of what's been going on. And then overall, just mental health. You know, we all know it. We all know the bad mental health. And also it's winter. Winter depression likes to come around wherever you go. And there's some like changes in my life that I might want to be making, but it's kind of risky. It's basically moving out of my apartment, moving in with a friend of mine at a much lower like price. I can like save some money, and like go and see the world more, which might help me. But also, it's a big move to make in the sense that said friend lives quite a few hours away, so I can't just like make this like move on an afternoon. And I also can't very well plan this move with like a bunch of people. Like, you know, if I'm like, oh hey, my family's gonna be helping me out, no, they'd all have to take the weekend off, the entire weekend, to just help me, because it's a long drive there, and then you'd have to do stuff and then drive back, and you know, all that stuff. But yeah, I've been going back and forth on whether I want to do this or not, because it also has some downsides. And then if it doesn't work out, if I'm not comfortable and happy and whatever, then I can't go back. For one, because I'll have ended my contract, so my apartment will be gone. But also because the moving back is just as complicated. You're too sweet, Nukes. Thank you. But yeah, I think you traveling, you'd have a bit of a longer travel here and back to help me move. Yeah, same concept for your bearded, but you guys are sweethearts, absolutely. Uh, what have I been missing? Bearded, you got into an accident? What kind? Jeez, are you alright? Are you okay? What's happening? Huh? Jesus Christ, you can't just drop something like that. Is it like a minor thing? Like, did a bike, like, kind of bump into you? Or did a truck? You know, like, there's a big difference. Did someone slam a door in your face? Or did you fall, like, out of a 3-story window? You know, there's nuance. Very important nuance. No, don't worry. You haven't been bothering me on Instagram at all. I know I'm not really replying to anyone right now, but that's literally just depression. It is as it is. I mean, I specifically went to one of my friend's place because I'm not doing well and I'm overwhelmed, and I'm like, well, I kind of just need a little bit of support, I guess. That has not actually been helping much, but it's gotten me away from the feeling of loneliness. But it also has made it somehow even harder to, like, reply to stuff as well. So now my family is going to be sending someone over to check on me. That's a joke. My mother. I always let my mother know that I'm okay. Everyone else has to be kept guessing. But yeah, no, I literally, jeez. The list is long. And then some messages are, like, simpler to reply to, and others are harder to reply to. There's some poor fellows out there who have been waiting for, like, 3-4 weeks. And I'm just like, sorry. But if it's like, you know, if it's like heavy shit that I have to, like, have a clear mind for, like, you know, if someone's, like, looking for, like, I don't know, mental health advice. I mean, obviously then it's bad to leave them waiting. But I'm thinking specifically of an interaction I've had, like, around the new year, I think, where someone was like, yeah, you know, just, like, letting me know about some darker stuff going on in their life. And I was like, hey, here's some advice. I mean, I didn't give it unsolicited. They were asking for help, basically. And I was like, hey, I tried doing this and that, and also therapy. It's quite an important cornerstone of things. And then they replied back. It was like, I think I asked them, like, some questions as well, like, hey, this situation, what did you mean with that? And then I replied to that again, and then their last, like, reply was just, like, basically, like, taking in what I had said and going, yeah, that makes sense. But also I don't have any energy, or something like that. And after that, I'm just like, if I don't have the energy, like, to, like, it's a lot easier to help someone asking for advice and, like, to answer some questions than it is to convince someone to help themselves when they don't want to help themselves, or when they like, feel like they cannot. On a more recent video, you know, the hating yourself one, got some people, like, going like, oh yeah, you know, I feel horrible about myself. And I want to be supportive, and I want to be helpful, obviously. And then I asked someone, I told someone, like, hey, don't you think that, like, when you have these negative feelings with yourself, like, the entire time, that's exhausting. That's not fair to you. Like, you gotta treat yourself with more kindness, and, like, you know, maybe think about this and that. And they're like, yeah, well, but it's out of my hands. And it's like, if someone believes that there's absolutely nothing that they could ever do to change their situation, I do not have the energy to convince them otherwise. I'm sure it can be done. I've done it with people. I just need to be in a really good headspace for that myself. I need to be like at the top of my own mental health, which is just not always ideal. So I try what I can, but that's also part of the reason why I've done like less comfort audios and stuff like in the recent like year or two. Like in the beginning I was doing a lot of those. And then a lot of people would come, and obviously, which makes sense, and which I never want to discourage. But, you know, people coming and talking about like all the sad stuff. And I see myself responsible to try and help, to not just ignore that away. But obviously I gotta find a good balance between like helping someone, but also not burning myself out. But yeah. How did I get to this topic from messages? Anyway, sad rambles aside. True, even therapists require therapy. Yeah, that's a smart thing. Absolutely. And I'm not even trained. None of the sort. I just have a little bit of experience with stuff. And I like to think of myself as very empathetic. Hey, jokingly talking bad about yourself is also like, okay, I don't know if you ever want to do this, but this is like actually like, this was like about some post online that went like, was popular for a while. Like you'll probably see it floating about somewhere, but it's a genuinely like good tip, which is if you want to like make a bad joke about yourself, like a negative one, instead try and make like one that's positive, but even say it in a sarcastic way. Like do it in an over-the-top way. So instead of like joking like, oh my god, I'm the terrible human being, or oh, I'm just such a failure, you know, like even though it is a joke, you know, you're saying something negative. Instead you could be like, oh, I'm the god of creation. I just did so well. You drop something, you're like, wow, that was good. That's how I planned to do it. And that's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of just fun. And it takes the negativity out of things a little. And I've been doing that, and it's, yeah, it kind of just makes me laugh more. Like if I'm having a bad day, and I mean, if I'm having an especially bad day, nothing's gonna make that better. Obviously, we all know that feeling. But if I'm just kind of unhappy with myself about something or other, and then, why did that go to sleep? Don't go to sleep, thank you. Like if I mess up and then I jokingly like put it in a positive light, that just like makes me smile, because I'm like, I'm being silly right now. Obviously I didn't mean to drop the eggs on the floor. Now I have a mess to clean up. Or obviously I didn't mean to run into the door frame. That hurt. But it's kind of funny to go like, that's not my fault. That door frame just moved, you know, like that, not my fault. Excuse you. When you get to know me, I'm a really goofy, funny person, allegedly. That's a fun quote. I'd like to keep that bearded. That's, yes. Sam's, oh no, did my phone make a notification I didn't hear? I guess I have the headphones on. I will be turning this off now. How dare anything be trying to talk to, no. I like things trying to talk to me. Except I'm just, sometimes I forget to turn off the notification. Oh my goodness. Sorry, got distracted. What else is there to talk about, if anything? Obviously today's upload was interesting. I meant for that to go online last week, but then I had to move it. And then today even, it almost didn't work out, which really fucking sucked. Like, there's just everything going wrong, and I just had a little cry over it. And then I managed to get things to work out, and I'm quite happy with how both the first part and the Patreon upload turned out. But it was a bit of a struggle at first. But yeah, people have been real nice. Unfortunately, it did get demonetized right away, which could have seen that coming. We'll have to see if they, after manual review, if they put it back up, or if they decide no, that doesn't work. Even though I tried to, keep it non-explicit, not really make any noises that are suspicious, and also not use any explicit wording. But obviously the topic of the audio is kind of spicy, so I don't want to complain. But still, I feel like it's kind of riding along the edge of okay for monetization. Who knows? But yeah, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, so now I'm gonna have a lot of, today was the Wednesday upload, and then the immediate Not Safe for Work Part 2 on Patreon, and then tomorrow is going to be the regular Patreon upload, so you guys have 3 audios to get to in just 2 days. Fun. Sometimes more explicit things do get monetized. I have to agree, yes, that's true. But I think that's more because they go under the radar. They have cracked down way more on ASMR stuff specifically, which I think is unfair. But overall, whenever I point fingers at a different YouTube video that's more explicit, that's more sexual or more violent or whichever, and gets doesn't get demonetized, I'll be oh yeah, that's unfair. But then in the end, I'm just oh no, it just, that one just got lucky not being sorted out then. It'll be 4 audios a week, because there's also the Sunday upload, so that's 4 audios a week. But I cannot make it a habit, because I do have the the 2 YouTube ones, and then the Patreon one, and then custom audios. So I'm kind of already at 4 audios a week, and then sometimes somewhere I have to squeeze in a Not Safe for Work one. But that's kind of what the schedule's looking like right now, and I want to expand. I have plans for things, and I just keep getting steamrolled by life. I'd prefer not to be. I want to bring plans to fruition. True, if you get both of your custom audios in the same week, then you get 6. If the Not Safe for Work upload is also in the same week that you get your custom audios, I guess that's probably not very often. But then you have 5, at least. Yep, the YouTube memberships is kind of on my agenda. That is something I have planned still, and I just need to have discussions with an official person, and then I have some questions technically towards YouTube, but I guess I'll just have to read up on that and hope that their language isn't too confusing, like most legal text usually is, on purpose. Pretty mean, by the way, that is. But that's 2 things, and then I just need to find the time to actually get things set up and rolling. And then once it's in the schedule, once I'm doing it how I would always do, then it's perfect, then it works out, The one who can't plan anything in Minecraft has a plan in real life. Rude. Yeah, I actually recently, oh my god, I found in like old folders I was looking through on my computer, I found a VOD from a live stream like 4 years ago. And it was in the same Minecraft world. And I was like, oh yeah, that's where that was. And then I'm like, oh, but not much looks different, does it? Not much has happened since then. And yet I always feel like, like I'm doing stuff, but I just end up like running back and forth in circles in Minecraft and like talking to chat, and I'm not actually doing stuff. It's fucking funny. No, but you speak some truth. Don't worry, Nukes. You speak some truth. Aye. But yeah, obviously, yeah, there's that planned, and then I have an idea that I don't want to spoil. That's like the kind of secret thing that I had kind of planned in the work direction. And I have no idea if I'll actually do it, if I'll actually like ever do it. I'm mostly just scared because it's like kind of not a big change, but a big like amount of additional work. Like it just might like double my workload if I do it, and then I worry that I can't easily get back out of it. Which is funny because it's specifically not a thing that's like a contract, like if someone offered me a contract going like, hey, you're gonna work for me so and so much and in like this time frame, then obviously, like once I get started, I have to, like I'm in that contract, I have to do it. But that's not even like what the secret plan thing is, but I'm still scared of that. The 2 a.m. chat with friends move, but not at 2 a.m. Yeah, I guess so. I always just end up rambling away, and then I can't focus. If I wasn't like monologuing, I probably like I can get things done pretty well if I'm like in a call with friends. Like I can play games and do stuff. But if I'm streaming, it's like I'm monologuing. I have to be talking the entire time. And then if I like take a break to think, I'm not being entertaining enough. I'm not entertaining enough. You don't understand. And so then, yeah, just run around, not doing anything other than talking. But yeah, Bearded, the point is that it is something I want to do. I'm just scared that it's not like something I can handle. I guess that's part of the, whole chronic issues and disability stuff. Like okay, being scared to try new things is an anxiety thing, but specifically trying to do things like work-related that might have me being overwhelmed and unable to handle stuff, it's like, yeah, that's kind of just that thing, ain't it? But yeah. Anyway, can I think of anything else to update y'all on or talk about? I don't know. I do not know if I can. Me. Yeah, no. I was about to like start talking about like plans for upcoming audios, and then I was like, I don't have any. Like I'm going with the flow. There's nothing like specifically planned. I have my long list of stuff, and I'll find something fun out of there, but it's not like I'm like, right now going, oh yeah, next week's upload on that day will be this thing, and after that it will be that thing, and everything. Oh, the profile pic commission. hey, we're almost reaching March, which is when I'll get to talk to the lady who can tell me, maybe, how I can do that well. Ish. I'm definitely overthinking that one as well again, but, you know, better safe than sorry and stuff. Oh, Catgirl audios are great. Yeah, I definitely want to do. I have like 1 or 2 prompts of that kind in my list, but they're nothing like terribly interesting. Okay, one of them would be cute. Like, okay, so one is an elaborate story, kind of, and I don't know how I actually want to like make it happen. I just have some snippets. Like, I had some script ideas that was like a few lines of dialogue, and I haven't. Since writing that down, I haven't tried to build around it. I haven't tried to make an audio out of it. And then the other one would be kind of cute. That's just basically like cuddles with Catgirl. Which, I mean, who doesn't like cuddles with Catgirl? The reverse yandere. Yeah, that one's also... Oh. I gotta put that at the top of my list, because I do want to do that one soon. Because I'm quite like excited for that one. But yeah, that would be nice. We'll see. I guess we'll end up seeing. Overall, y'all should think about. Oh, sorry. You should think about if there's like any continuations of audios that I haven't done, that I've like forgotten about, because sometimes I will admit I do that, you know. Like, even like series that haven't been finished, not even like 2-parters, you know. We're not just talking about like an audio that I like uploaded on YouTube once and then you're like, oh, I want to see a continuation of this. I'm talking about like the series that are like unfinished, where I've uploaded multiple parts and it's like an entire story, but then I haven't finished it yet. I'm always worried that I'm forgetting about some, so I've been writing them down, but that's just the past few weeks. So, yeah. Any of the tons that I've sent you? You mean your prompts? Oh yeah, they're in my list. I mean, I always take from your prompts in the list. I mean, not always, but you'll know usually when I say it in the description, except when I forget, which I don't do terribly often. But when I forget, which I'm sorry for. But yeah, and then what was I gonna say? Right, yeah, the series are just like, I need to keep track of them better, but I'm working on it. It's just for the past ones, it's harder to keep track of. You know, the new ones I can just all write down a list and then they're there. But yeah, you always give great prompts. Oh, you got your car registered? That's nice. How long have you... Didn't you get your car a while back? Doesn't it have to be registered like right away? Or do you just have space where you can like just leave it sitting around? Here in Germany, you have to get your car registered if it's on gonna be on a public street. So unless you're parking it in your private garage or on your private like property, you have to have it registered. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense then. Big property. Well, the perks of living in the US. I mean, not everyone in the US has a big property. Never mind, I want to retract that statement because I can already hear the comments. But it's definitely more of a thing than in Germany. You're not really going to find many people who've got their own like fucking ranch or whatever. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna be saying goodbye now. It's been a fun little chat, just like the title says, just a little chit-chat. And I will, oh god, go to bed. No, not quite. But I feel like I wanna. And I hope you guys will take good care of yourselves until next time, until the next stream, the next upload, wherever we see each other again. Maybe in my DMs once I start opening them again. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Bye bye, guys.